gentlemen. Aviv,
Oh,
how are you,
Andrew,
my friend? Yes.
I'm
How are you,
good.
man?
How are you, man?
Good. I think
Good to
Ethan's
see
here
you.
too. Oh, good to see you, man. You look like you're in the most beautiful place right now.
Yeah, I'm on the beach, man.
I thought it was a green screen. It looks like a green
Yeah,
screen.
it's like
Oh,
a
it
green
is a
screen.
green screen.
It is a green screen.
You had me fooled, bro. That's genius. How'd you do
Yeah,
that? I need to
you
do
got an
that.
option next to the video, like
Yeah.
video
Yeah.
settings. Yeah,
Okay.
choose virtual background. So
Cool,
guys, you
man.
can choose this or like other picture, but this is the other
Oh.
moving picture.
Damn, man, you're ahead of me. I've been doing this for a couple days now. I did not know.
Yeah, this is my first, I think, fourth time I'm using this.
Okay, man,
Yeah,
I love the mustache.
thank you. Yeah.
Crazy,
I
man.
like yours too. Like,
It's not as good, man. I had it all trimmed before at one point, but it's kind of just a mess.
it looks good, man.
That's good, bro.
Yeah,
So where are you coming from, Aviv?
where I'm come from.
Yeah, where
Like,
are you right now?
I'm Jerusalem.
You're from Jerusalem, Israel.
Yeah, Israel.
Crazy, man. So you're just at your house right now?
Yeah, right now I'm in my room.
Okay.
Like chilling, doing nothing.
Yeah. How are things in Israel right now with this craziness? Is
With all
it
the
is
Corona
it
shit and stuff like that.
yeah, are people going crazy? Are you going crazy?
Like it's difficult because most of the people like listen to the statements of the health
Yeah,
secretary and stuff like that, and really don't get out of the houses, going out with gloves and masks and stuff.
yeah.
But like,
Are you guys restricted to go outside or anything like that? Or are you free
yeah,
to?
we can go outside only for 100-meter
What?
radius. Yeah,
That's crazy, man.
yeah. But at least it's not like full lockdown.
Oh my God. I would are there like is there like police in the streets and like people are enforcing it?
Now you can go in the streets. You can see also walk like cars and traffics and also buses and stuff like that. But not a
Okay.
lot of people is outside. No, not much people going outside.
Okay. Are a lot of people like scared, you think? Like a lot of your friends and people like that, are they scared? Or are they everyone's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, yeah?
There's lots of people that get scared. Like
Uh
most of the old people, like the old
mm-hmm.
generations, like my parents and stuff like that, and like they scared about themselves. The old, not they are young, the how they used to be. So
Yeah. Yeah,
how about
that's
you, Canada and stuff like?
well, where I'm from, like Canada's so big, right? And like in the big cities in Canada, like on the east and west coast, things are more crazy because they have a lot of cases. But where I'm
Mhm.
from, it's pretty like rural, small cities, so it's not as like crazy. But people are still going like panicky, and like everyone's in like this kind of weird mind state. So I'm just trying to
Yeah.
invite my friend here to the chat. I
Yeah,
met
easy
him,
for sure.
yeah, I met him in Costa Rica, and I thought we could all get on this together. So,
Yeah, why not then? Like, for sure, easy.
man, I love that. I remember you saying that when we met on that trip, the Falcon Day trip to Machu Picchu, and your thing to say was for sure easy. Like, I love it, man.
Yeah. Like, you man. Yo,
Oh
I'm
man,
so missing like this trip, man. Yeah.
yeah, I
Especially
know.
now, it's like making me think all the trip all this time
Yeah, when did you
spending.
get back from like your whole trip till
It's
now?
I've come back like around 4 months ago, something like that. And it's
Okay,
like spent there like 11 months, almost a year. So it was crazy, so fun.
a whole year traveling, eh?
Yeah, yeah, man.
Man, you probably how many countries did you go to?
And nine countries,
9 countries in how many months? 11 months,
11
right?
months. Yeah.
Ethan saw is 25. Sorry there, Aviv. I'm just gonna get Ethan into this.
What is name?
His name's Ethan. He's from the States. I just met him when I was in Costa Rica, actually. just a
Nice.
while ago. Yeah, really nice guy. He was out traveling for a long time too, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to get both you guys in here since you guys both have traveled for like long periods of time. Like I've always wanted to do that, man, but it's always been like I never wanted to leave everything completely. And
Yeah, I feel you. I
yeah,
feel like
yeah, because
it's difficult to just live for such a long time. No, it's really difficult.
yeah, like
Really also.
you must have got homesick a couple times on that trip, eh? A
Yeah,
little.
for sure. Like multiple time, but also you say to yourself during the homesicks that like, yeah, I'm homesick. I want to see my family. I want to see my friends.
Yeah.
But you say like this place I'm just in is fucking amazing. It's so beautiful here. It's the culture is so interesting. It's so fun, and I
Yeah.
want to see more. So let's keep going.
Yeah, man, you probably learned so much on your trip, and you met probably so many beautiful people, and
Oh man, so much. But so much like a lot of French Canadian, those from Quebec and stuff like that.
yeah, that's weird that you say that. I guess you were traveling Central America a lot, and the top of South America, right?
Yeah. I
Like, what countries did you visit in all?
like after Peru, I've been in Ecuador and then Colombia, and after that I move on to the central. So
Mm-hmm.
Costa Rica, Cuba, and Guatemala. Guatemala, I spent like almost 3 months over there.
Okay,
Yeah, amazing.
beautiful, man, beautiful. Here's Ethan.
Oh, nice.
We finally got Ethan into the chat. Hey,
Oh,
man, how are you?
Ethan, what's up?
Can
I'm
you hear us,
Aviv.
Ethan?
Yeah, he's connecting the audio right now.
Oh, he's connecting to the audio. Okay. Yeah, once Ethan can hear us, we can start chatting to him.
Yeah. So what's the time at you?
Oh, right now it's 12 p.m.
Oh,
here.
really?
So you're 9 hours ahead, I believe.
Okay, I can hear you guys.
Yeah, 9:30. Hey, Ethan, how's it going,
Can you guys
man?
hear me?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Good.
You're the most
Wonderful.
professional, bro. Look at that mic.
Yeah.
Like the mic, the headphones, everything.
I'm a gamer, so it's part of that, I guess.
Built in, you say.
Do you stream?
I used to.
Yeah.
And then I stopped doing it. I used to play a lot of video games. I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft, so I streamed
Okay.
that and acted like an idiot online. And that's what it was allowed me to buy a new mic and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I stopped. It wasn't my calling, but it was fun while it lasted,
Nice.
Awesome, man. Where are you coming from, Ethan? So people know. Aviv here's from Israel.
I am from Washington, D.C. in the United States. It is currently 2:15 for me right now. So I'm on the East Coast. Yeah.
How are things there in Washington? Are things pretty crazy? Are people going crazy? Are you going crazy?
I'm going a little crazy. It sucks to like come home from a trip where you have so much freedom and then immediately be stuck in this position where like I can't do anything.
Sure.
But other than
no
that,
one expected that, It's like
well, right,
came
exactly.
from nowhere.
It's out of nowhere. And so yeah, I don't know. It's all right. It's going okay. It sucks not being able to see my friends and everything as often. I haven't seen them in a while actually, but
you've been doing a lot of video chats and things like that.
Yeah, a lot of that, a lot of video games.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's a little annoying because there's a lot of projects I want to get to and everything like that, but I just can't do it until a lot of this blows over. But other than that, it's been okay. It's been all right.
It's good, man. Yeah, the world's on halt, and you gotta find things to work on in the meantime. That's what I've been talking to everyone. It's just like, hey, what's your projects right now? Like, it's hard not to like have something to work on, right? You need to stay busy.
Yeah, you have to. I think like now these times people get more closer to their hobbies and stuff they really love to do by the people who you are. Like, so that's nice. That's a good thing that come out from this virus.
Yeah.
Also, the fucking world Earth is recovering from all the shit that we've done to him.
Yeah, that's true. So I really didn't want to talk too much about the virus with you guys because I'm like everyone's talking about that. It's 24-hour news. I wanted to talk about your guys' experiences. You guys, I kind of both got you guys on this because I know you both traveled for a long time. I don't know, Ethan, how long we talked with Aviv before. He was traveling for about a year. He just got back.
Oh wow.
How many months ago, Aviv?
It was only like 3 months. It was up really close.
You were
to
3
90
months?
days, so it wasn't too
Okay.
long. But it was.
But how long was it supposed to be if you didn't come back?
A bit over 3 months. Like I think probably about. Well, it could have gone on much longer than that.
Yeah.
So the plan
For
was that I
sure.
would have a flight back at the end of 90 days because of the visa
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Okay.
But I could kind of see myself if I liked it enough and things were going well. I probably would have stayed a little bit longer.
So where you've been traveled?
So I did Costa Rica, just solo Costa Rica. I had plans to try to check out Panama and Nicaragua. However, I kind of got stuck in this beach called Santa Teresa.
Oh man, I stuck there for like 2.5 weeks.
You were there too, bro?
I was there
Yeah,
for 2
man.
months.
Me
I was there
too.
for 2 months. Yeah, well, that's where I met him.
Beautiful. It's beautiful, man.
Man, that's so
nice.
cool that we were all in that same place.
No, I got stuck at this hostel. I was working at this hostel, and then I just didn't want to leave. So I was there for like until the end of my trip. So
What is it like working at a hostel? Like, what was your experience, Ethan? Like, through the 3 months there.
I'm a very extroverted person. Like I like talking with people. So it was the best fucking way. Oh, sorry. Can I curse?
Yeah, of course, bro.
Okay. Sorry. It was the best way.
Too late now, right?
It was the best way to like make new friends. Because every day, a new person would come in, a new story, and so I really liked that. And I mean, there were those days where it sucked to sit at the desk, like, and nothing was going on. It's like, oh, I'd rather be by the beach. I'd rather be going on these trips to the waterfalls with friends. I'd rather be doing all these things. But at the end of the day, it allowed me to stay a lot longer and live a lot cheaper, which ultimately is.
It's also nice, like it's different from traveling and moving from place to place, like all the time. It's like you're feeling like it's your home. You know everybody around you. You know the place. Like
you get settled in more and just familiar with your surroundings, and I like trips like that. When I went to Costa Rica, I was there for 17 days, and I never stayed in a spot more than 3 nights, and it was just boom, 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 move around as fast as I could, which was really fun. I saw a lot, but like you said, you kind of don't get settled as much.
Right, and personally, that's my preferred way of traveling. I don't know. I just I like to settle in. I think that I really realized that. I kind of went in, was like, oh, I'm open to settling. I'm open to jumping from place to place. We'll see how it all goes. And I would say, like, from now on, I think I want to do these longer lasting trips that I can just kind of chill for a while and make new friends and meet new people. Like I felt like the people at that hostel were my family. And that was like the best feeling ever. And like leaving was very hard for me.
I bet, man.
So it was,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I volunteered for months and a half in a hostel in Guatemala.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was really nice experience. It was like 2 months before I came back. So
you got like room and board.
This time, you're just moving from place to place, moving countries, meeting new people every day. So it was nice just stop, chill, and like connect to the place like how much you want to.
That's sick.
So it's so nice.
Aviv, you got like room and board for free?
Yeah, like 3 meals and bedroom. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's like a main expense when you're traveling is your room, and like you literally not spend any money if you get your room and your meals paid for.
Yeah, I had to cover a little bit of my meals. There were some days where they would happily like make me breakfast or some shit like that. But other than that, like, I mean, I was okay with just getting the free living. I mean,
how many hours per week would you work?
That really varied. So I was actually working a lot more than I actually wanted to, I think. And I feel like as much as I love the hostel, I was okay with doing it because I was around great people. However, if I was anywhere else, I would probably have left because of how many hours I was working.
Right.
So it really varied. It depended on what days. So like you would do a morning shift, which was from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or you do a afternoon shift, which is from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m.
What did you prefer?
I preferred the afternoons because I kind of like my mornings.
Yeah. You got up and did your thing and then you'd go.
Right. I could get up. I can go surfing. I could do whatever the fuck I wanted until 2, which is already halfway through the day. And then I just chill there for the evening. Sure, I miss a beautiful sunset, But I mean, if that's what I'm giving or taking, it's fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
But there were some times. So the owner of the hostel is a professional surfer for Costa Rica. So there were a couple weekends where they went to go compete, and I was stuck at the hostel 24/7. That sucked sometimes because like I was the only other employee other that like for check-ins. The other two didn't speak any English. It was the cleaner and the gardener. And I was really, really cool with them, but they just couldn't check people in or do that kind of thing. So that's why I was there 24/7. And I mean, yeah, sometimes it was a little more. I was like, I wish I could just leave, but you know, other times I felt it an even trade-off.
Yeah,
it's beautiful, man. What do you guys think of this? Traveling alone will be the scariest, most liberating, life-changing experience of your life. Try it at least once. Do you think everyone should travel alone at some point in their lives?
Definitely.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Definitely,
sure.
man.
What do you guys learn traveling alone?
It's like getting yourself into the real life, like, and understand there's sometimes it's just you know, you, and there's no one can help you in place that no one, you don't know the language. And after that, like, if you get handled yourself, you know, by yourself and get all the things you want, get where you want to do, get to eat what you want, like having fun in the end.
I guess you find out what you really enjoy personally, like because you're not around other people that you know, and you don't have to follow what they do. It's just like it's your experience. You're the creator of it.
Exactly. And also, you I think that after you get like, also when traveling alone is scary because there's a lot of stuff that can happen during the trip, during the travel. And when it happens, and when you after that, and you just, you know, it's happened, everything okay, you after that, you moved on, you just see yourself as like, even when yourself, that's only you can do whatever the fuck you want to get everything, you know, get handled with everything.
It's so spontaneous.
Yeah.
I'll say, at least what it really taught me, and what I think everybody could benefit from with it, at least after the traveling experience, is, again, it's very spontaneous, and so it really puts in perspective like that nothing is definite and nothing is bound to happen. Everything could change in the drop of a tack. Like it could just completely shift.
Yeah.
And that helps during traveling because you have some of the most crazy fucking experiences ever, like the most fun things that you could possibly, and you never would have thought of doing it. But then you also, like, when you come back, I feel like it even helps you even more, just being more content and confident in yourself, as well as the stuff that you're surrounded by. Like, I came back and I am not the same person that I left as. And it was my first trip solo. And I feel like I am a lot more comfortable in myself and a lot more comfortable in my body, a lot more driven. And I think that's a big thing that I think everybody feels, especially a long-term solo travel. And you also, it's easy to solo travel as well in your comfort zone, but it's harder to step outside of that comfort zone. And stepping out of that comfort zone is really what matters, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're faced with that comfort zone consistently. Hey, like it's throughout the whole time you're faced with like, okay, do I be on my own or do I go out and meet people and reach out to people and create this experience and see what other people are up to? I noticed that with myself, and I really resonate with what you were saying, was you gain so much confidence in yourself because you find out what you like and what makes you tick and the people you like to be around and how you carry yourself in the world. Is like, I feel like traveling just gives you the time to realize that, and like you said, pushes you into so many times of like just kind of discomfort and putting yourself out there and kind of being lost and wandering. And
there's equally good and bad discomfort. There's that discomfort that pushing a boundary and you look back at the experience and you're like, that was the most incredible thing I could have ever done. And then there's the discomfort that was like, I never want to do that again. But at least you know that you never want to do that again.
That's
you know,
all part of it. Yeah.
It's all part of it. No, for sure.
I agree. Just learning about yourself a lot more than if you've done this trip like with a friend or somebody you know.
Exactly. Well, yes, because you're dictated by someone else the entire time. And I think, at least around where I am, traveling, at my age, I'm only 18, so traveling at a young age, and then also traveling in general, solo especially in the US, is very, I don't want to say looked down upon, but it is not a common thing.
Yeah,
And
people look at it like you're going alone. Like I always
Right.
get that. Like
And
they're
it's-
like it's almost like frowned upon in a way.
it's this
Yeah.
it's this phobia of other countries, and it's this like, why would you ever want to leave this country? Why would you ever want to do that? And like, you're leaving into the unknown, you're leaving into this danger. And so I really think that like there are so many people out there that have always been like especially when I was planning for this, they were like, I would love to go on a trip, I would love to do what you're doing. And it's like, just fucking do it. Like it's the
action,
hard
right?
So damn
to
easy.
take that step, right? But once you're on it, it is so easy. You can go so cheap.
Yeah.
You just have to do it. And that's the biggest part, is just doing it.
What'd you guys
And,
spend
like-
on your trips? What'd you spend on your trips, would you say? Because
Well,
you were working, so like
I
what
was
would you spend
working.
3 months?
3 months. So I had actually, if you want the total, about 1,300, and that includes my
US?
flight. Yes. So that includes my flight and an emergency flight back home. So it's like an early flight, because I had to change my designated date. So that was another $300, which is steep, but that's
So you can
total.
travel for 3 months while working away for $1,000. in 3
Maybe
months.
even less, depends on where you are, right?
So I don't
we're
think
in
anyone
Costa
can
Rica.
say I don't have the money. Like that's
Right. And Costa Rica is fucking expensive. So like,
Fucking
mean,
expensive. Yeah,
dude, like
that's true.
especially
That's true.
Santa Fe, so like,
yeah, what the
holy
heck?
shit.
That was
Holy
everyone
shit.
there. Don't
Fuck.
go to
God.
Costa Rica. Actually, go to Costa Rica, but make sure you have lots of money.
Oh yeah, no, that's a trip you need to kind of be set for a little bit. Have a little bit
Yeah.
of leeway. But even then, you can still get by a lot cheaper than living in the U.S. or like traveling the U.S. for sure. So like, I mean, imagine a country like Nicaragua, which I've heard so much about as being so amazing and so filled with so much culture and so many experiences, and people are able to live a month there for $300, and it's like that includes paying for a hostel.
Wow.
And it's like, what the actual fuck? Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful when people can do that. Travel opens your heart, broadens your mind, and fills your life with stories to tell. Damn,
Yeah.
that's pretty
100%.
true, man. Stories broadens your mind, gives you time to think about your life, reflect.
For sure.
Yeah, everything. Like also every little thing can bring back like memories from places or like songs even. Like,
Oh my gosh, yes.
that songs like bring me back like in that moment I sitting in the hostel like near the pool, like stuff like that. So it's so nice, so fun.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys say was like one of your best travel memories in general? Could be some crazy shit. It could be something fun that you guys did.
I think every trip has like, those special hikes and those special memories. But to me, like at the end of it, it's always like, I look back on it, I'm like, damn, that whole trip was just a roller coaster of emotion. And like, I think of it as not like one moment, but the whole moment of like the highs and lows and the doubts and the worries and the times when you're just alone and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing with my life? And you're having like these moments like, what am I in the job I have? And like those like kind of like spiritual life moments that go through your head mixed with like the bliss of like being in a wonderful new place surrounded by great people, like being in awe of the landscape and being in the moment. I guess just a mix between like the pain you'll go through and maybe sometimes traveling alone and like the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That experience for me stands out. I don't know, but yeah, there's definitely like certain hikes and stuff that were just like Machu Picchu and like.
Oh shit!
It was
yeah,
great, man.
Like that
Machu
was just
Picchu was
incredible.
fucking great.
me and Aviv hiked 90 kilometers over 3 days.
5 days. 5 days.
Oh, dude,
Like,
I
it's
want
4
to do
days.
that.
It's 4
we
nights.
climb
It was
up
4
Machu
nights.
Picchu.
Yeah, it's
That
4
sounds so
days.
much fun.
4 days, and yeah, it was just like retarded, man. Like you were just in nature, no cell phones for 4 days. We had cooks that followed us and cooked like
cool.
5-course buffet meals. Like it was so good, man. That was
Man,
best
the
food.
food was great. The
Aviv's
hike was amazing. Like,
Yeah, Aviv's
wow.
a cook. Aviv's a cook, and he was like, "This is really good stuff."
Yeah, man.
That's
Of
dope.
course. Like,
How about
if
you,
it's good.
Ethan? What stands out to you?
For me, I think I agree with what you were saying before. About just the highs and the lows. Ultimately, it's just the feeling, the feeling that you had while you were there. For me, was bigger. If that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. It's not like the place, but rather the
Right.
experience.
One cool thing, we went to a rodeo, and I got to run in the ring with a bull. So that was pretty.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Oh,
That was
shit.
pretty badass. I still can't believe I fucking did that.
Do you have a video of it?
I do have a few videos. They are the
You should-
worst
Man, I'll
quality.
never get the
Oh,
ring with the bull,
But
man.
yeah, no, I got in the
Never.
ring, and then when the rider falls off, the bull starts chasing people around. So you run and you jump over the rafters. I can't believe I fucking did that. I look back and I'm like, wait, am I fucking crazy? Like,
what were you thinking in that
You could
moment,
die.
man?
I don't know. I was just like, I
man.
saw it, and so the owner of the hostel was the one who brought me with his girlfriend, and he brought the rest of the hostel as well. So my hostel did super cool things like that. We would get everybody together and we just go to these trips. And so yeah, we all went, and I saw him go in because he always does it. He always goes into the ring. And then I saw my other friend go in, the photographer for the hostel go in, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it too. So I went as well. And then like 6 beers later, it didn't seem that bad. So you know, it was fucking crazy. So that was one
Nice story, man. Nice
for
story.
pure shock value. There's that.
Yeah, it probably frightened the shit out of you. And at the same,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love shit like that. Man. I love shit like that, like jumping off cliffs and like doing things that are like you're pretty
Yeah,
safe,
adrenaline.
but there's a little bit element of danger.
There's a
to
little
it.
bit of danger, yeah.
The adrenaline that gives it a rush in the body.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
adrenaline. It's the adrenaline.
Adrenaline, yeah.
Adrenaline junkies.
Yeah.
God, I love that. No, that
Like-
was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Was just the heart pumping feeling of like, holy fuck, that thing is there. Like, that's what I loved about it.
Yeah. What do you guys think of surfing? Every time I get back from a trip, I'm like telling people, I'm like, man, you guys got to go on a trip and you just got to surf, man. It's like one of the best sports in the world. Like
Man, I love it. I love it.
I could
Fucking
spend
love it.
I was spending like 3 hours in the water, like at a time, just like you lose yourself in that ocean, man. Like for 3 hours, time is non-existent. It's just you being tossed in the waves. I'm not very good. The odd time getting up, that feeling of getting up, like, whoa,
Yeah.
I'm surfing. Like, oh, so crazy, man.
No,
I'm agree, man. I love it. I fucking love it. It's so fun. Like, it's just you and nature, you know? Like, when you're on the wave, it's just like nothing else is going around.
and no wave is ever the same.
Exactly.
And so it's
the
always
fun.
a different experience. Right. That's what I love. I went into it wanting to surf. So I grew up with skate culture here because we call it the concrete playground. But yeah, so I grew up in cities, so I grew up with skate culture. And so I told myself, I was like, I'm going to learn to surf when I'm there because I've always wanted to do it. And then by the time I got to Santa Teresa, I surfed every day. I did my first couple sessions and I was like, I love it. And so every day, one session minimum, maybe 2, going out as much as possible. It was the best experience ever. Like,
I
so
bet,
much
man.
fun.
I bet. Oops.
What it says.
I screwed up.
I like the
love.
palm trees, by the way.
I just got to put the I thought it was real when he.
I thought it was for a second, too.
But, oh, yeah, okay.
Man, but whatever I take away from surfing is just like, this is a really good quote that I like to say. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. Doesn't it feel like that when you first learn to surf though? Like you're scared, man. Like you're getting tossed
yeah.
and especially if you're in like a crazy place. Like it's like
Yeah,
You're-
especially
you're-
the ocean. Like, you don't know what's going on there.
you don't know if
Correct.
there's rocks on the bottom. You don't know anything. You don't like if there's other people around you. You might get smacked by a board. Like
You don't know nothing. It's fucking scary.
I don't even know how to surf, man. Like I took a lesson once and like I'm pretty sure like I was like cutting people off and shit. So at least once or twice someone got mad at me. I was like, sorry, man. No.
Oh, people always got mad. I
Yeah,
always
yeah,
get
that's the
trying to fight
locals,
me.
though.
Everybody's
That's the
pissed.
locals, though.
Oh, they're so good though.
In Santa Teresa, it was never the locals. It was always travelers who were here
Oh,
long
really?
term. That was the crazy part for me. I never had a problem with the locals because I was friends with Marcos, the owner, was friends with all of them. So like I kind of knew them. So it was never them. It was always like these people that come and they stay for the winter time and they just live.
Yeah, for
Those
sure.
people, oh my gosh. They almost got into a couple fist fights. Let's just say that.
I bet,
Not
man.
fun. But no,
It's
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, surfing is just blissful, man. I was gonna ask what other kind of sports kind of make you guys feel like that. I was gonna say skiing. For me, skiing is powerful.
I've never skied. Never snowboarded either, but I really want to try that now that I've done surfing and I've skated.
Me too. Also, like, never done that.
Aviv, okay, you guys come. Actually, Washington, you can snowboard in Washington and ski in Washington.
Well, like you can go into like Virginia, so like I'm in
Aviv,
DC.
you're
so
fucked.
So yeah,
I'm
it's
fucked,
like
man. I got nothing.
yeah.
I got desert. I can
Israel, just desert.
sandboarding, man. I can sandboarding.
Oh
Like
yeah,
in
there
Ica.
is that.
Did you guys do that in?
Yeah, in Peru, in
in Peru.
Ica.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Or Kachina.
I went sand sledding, which is pretty.
Oh yeah,
cool.
yeah, that sounds cool. I've heard about a ton of people that did that.
So
I've
fun.
never done it. It sounds so neat.
But yeah, skiing and snowboarding, man, is like it's more like the most expensive sport out there, to be honest. Like you're
Probably.
paying like $100 a day to go out on a mountain. Plus, if you have to rent equipment, if you don't own your own, equipment's really expensive to buy. But like the thrill of going all the way to the top of a mountain and then working your way down through snow and like jumps and like for like 20 to 30 minutes, it's like so
That's
crazy.
awesome. Yeah.
It's awesome, man.
Aviv, bro, come to Canada. This has to happen now. Like, wow, bro.
First of all, the coronavirus needs to be gone.
No, well, fuck it, man. Come anyway. I don't care.
Okay, no.
We'll smuggle you in.
Don't worry. I will swim all the way.
Yeah. Shit, man. But anyway, yeah. Any sport like outside like that is, I don't know. I've always loved sports because you get lost in the moment. You get lost in just doing that thing, and it's like nothing else matters in that moment.
Yeah.
I do like that.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. We're gonna take a quick break, guys. I've been doing these in like 40-minute sessions, and then I usually take like a 10-minute break. So if you guys want to like grab a water or whatever, I'm gonna roll a smoke. I saw Aviv smoking. He's probably smoking a joint. I'm gonna join. I'm gonna do that. And yeah, I want to talk about. I know Ethan said he wanted to talk about some of this kind of creative process. Ethan, you're into photography, videography,
Yes,
as
indeed.
well. And I know Aviv, you're kind of an artist yourself in a way.
Yeah.
Being a chef, you're creating things. You're creating dishes. Do you have any other artistic things that you like to do as like a hobby or anything?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
I remember when I met you, it's like food was your passion. You just loved cooking and creating dishes.
That's incredible, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
So we're gonna continue with you.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
For me, food's like amazing.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about like the creative process, and I don't know. We'll see what comes up. But I'll phone you guys back in 5 to 10 minutes. Sound good?
Yeah, sure.
For sure.
Okay. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao. Put my earphones on so I can hear you.
Oh, nice. So I see you got the joint. Cheers.
No, it's a spliff. Cheers. Do you know what a spliff is?
Spliff? Yeah. This is a spliff, man.
Okay. Is that how most people smoke marijuana?
Yeah, in Israel, yeah.
Yeah, it makes it.
Always spliff. Like Pures is just too expensive. You don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like no. It's like only in really special occasions.
What do they have on special occasions?
Pures. You know, like only weed. You know,
Okay.
joint. Yeah.
I see.
Like for us, it's just like too much. We can't do it every day, so it's always a spliff.
How was your break, Ethan?
All good. Sorry for the hold up.
That's okay, dude.
We're
Good.
chilling.
We weren't waiting long.
Oh, okay.
So I was gonna ask you guys, what's your guys' dreams? What's your guys' big goals right now? Do you find right now it's difficult to be motivated because of everything, the world events that are going on, do you find it's hard to like work towards something right now?
I get bursts of insane amounts of like I guess oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. I have a lot of inspiration, but then I'll also go through bursts of like just being in a complete slump, because it's like that feeling of like, oh, I have these things I want to do, but I just can't do them, and so then you put them off. So like this lately, the past week or so has just been creative slump. Like I just don't feel like I have any big dream, or I have big dreams, but it's like I don't feel like I can really push for anything right now, because it's just, I mean, you can't, or at least in my opinion. And then but then you'll have those weeks where it's like, oh my god, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and you'll be writing everything down and you'll be going through it all, because it's just your brain is just thinking. I don't know. but that's at least like what I've felt is like I'll be jumping back and forth, but mainly I feel like I'm losing a lot of creative inspiration just because it's just they're stuck in this one place, and so it's kind of can't build or expand on anything really.
Yeah, I think you can, but you just got to do it in different ways. Kind of like why I started doing this was like I needed something that I could do every day, chat with people, get me thinking in different ways. Do what you can, and I think that's all about being creative. I think what you were saying is just like the creative process is kind of like that though. Whenever you're creating something new or something like that, I feel like you're gonna go through stages of like intense inspiration where things come to be. And then there's going to be like this lull where you like think it's shit and you question it, and kind of like what this is saying, like number one, this is awesome. When you first do something, when you first make a video, or maybe Aviv first make like a dish, like, oh, this is awesome. And then like you go through the stage of like, well, okay, this is tricky to make like perfect. And then you're like, wait, this is shit. Like I am shit. Like this is like, because you start comparing maybe or something. But I feel like in steps like 3 to 4, like that's when you like really refine, and it actually becomes, you start thinking of things you could do differently, and then 5, this might be okay, and finally when it's all done, like this is awesome. 6.
Yeah. I think what like in everything you're doing in your life, it's like this creative process. And these stages 3 and 4, this is the most stages. There's like most of the people will just give up, just quit, say fuck it, and go the easy way. Just like it's not getting well, so
yeah, it's true. And they don't finish. We don't finish sometimes because we get stuck in stages 3 and
it's
4.
Like they start to believe they really can't do it, start believe to themselves, and they just can't do it, and they just give up, say, no, it's not for me, I tried, it's not working, so I
actually heard something really nice from this artist I listened to, and he kind of was speaking about how he deals with these creative ruts and like inspiration for a project, and it's kind of how I feel like I want to approach my work in the future. Was like when a lot of people hit this this is shit phase, or I am shit phase, like they kind of bury themselves in it, and then they start a new project. So say, for example, you're a musician, right? And you're writing a song, and then you fucking hate the song, and then you ditch it, and then you make a new song, and the new song ends up being a great outcome, and really tackles the perspective that you wanted it to from the get-go. But what this guy was basically saying is like, instead of jumping onto a new project, just pushing through that, just like really fighting, because ultimately the reason that you started it was because you were inspired by it in some way. So rather than trying to switch up to something else, just following through it, and then by the time it all kind of breaks open, it's even more incredible, because it has the new inspiration as well as the old inspiration. And
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I find that with like passion projects myself, like making I made a music video recently.
No, that sounds dope.
And like it was a couple month long process of editing, and like having like drafts, and like thinking it was done, and then sitting on it, like not working on it for weeks, and like kind of questioning it, and then like you said, kind of bringing that new inspiration into it, because like life events kind of give us new perspectives and new inspiration, and new emotion, I think, that we put into our art, whether that be, like Aviv was saying, all of life's kind of creative in that way. Whatever you do, whatever process you're doing.
Right. And I think another one of the biggest things as well is just because when you hit those this is shit phase, like every artist is going to be critical of themselves, incredibly critical of themselves. Whether you're writing a song, you're going to want it to be the best song, or you're making a dish, you're going to want it to be the best dish, or you're taking a photo, you're going to want it to be the best fucking photo. And that kind of perspective, while it is good and it is going to help you build your work into something you want it to be, I really feel like there's a certain degree of just fuck it that you need to have, because at the end of the day, you could be a perfectionist and you could sit on your work forever and it could be a masterpiece and to everybody else, you know what I mean? Like,
two fresh eyes.
Right. It's good to be critical of yourself, but ultimately being too critical of yourself can lead to just as many downfalls as being not critical enough, you know? Like that's
right.
Maybe that's
find
just
a
how I
balance.
see
Find a
it.
balance.
Right.
I agree.
It's definitely a balance.
That's true.
Yeah, you wanna have enough. You want to be picky enough that it does become good. You're not just releasing something that you could make better.
Well,
At
right.
the same time, you need to know when you should finish a project, say this is what I can do at this time, and move on and evolve.
Right.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. I love it. I love talking about stuff like this. It's so good. I think this is kind of just points to it too. The first draft of anything is shit. Anything. You say that in like first time you do any task. You don't like any sport, first time driving a car.
You can think you're doing well. I think ultimately, sorry, I hope the music upstairs isn't too loud.
It's all good.
But no, I think that's, oh gosh, let me wrap my head around. If you guys can continue, hold on. Sorry.
Shoot. It's all good, bro.
Yeah, like I don't know if I'm agree with that. Like about anything, you know. It's not anything in every first time you do stuff. You get like shit, you know, the stuff that you really wait to do them. Looking forward to the first time, you know.
Do you think some things you don't have to be shit at to begin with?
Yeah, like not anything that, like you've done, like you don't like you need. I think you can say it's like a shit. Like yeah, I'm not like doing that, but I mentioned if there's like a certain like cause or reason behind that after that you need to do that task for that, so it's not shit after all, you know. And eventually you look at like differently.
Yeah, you gotta have the right mindset with it. You can't berate yourself when you're just beginning anything. I think you have to be humble and be like, hey, I think you have to allow yourself to be a fool.
I can agree
at things. Like it's like kind of like dancing. You have to like let yourself be a fool to be a good dancer or a good artist. Is like, and laugh at yourself.
It all starts somewhere, right? So
yeah, for sure.
What do you guys think of this one? Pain is a part of life. It's certainly part of my creative process.
I can agree with that to an extent. Like I feel like a lot of what makes your art individual to yourself is what you've been through in the past and the experiences that you've had, whether that is something that you would deem painful or something that you would deem like happy or you know, joyous, I guess. I think though, there's a strong misconception with the struggling artist or the starving artist, is that to be a successful artist you need to starve and you need to suffer. And I think that, like, because I've even thought about that. I've even considered, it's like, okay, well, I have these dreams and aspirations that I really want to chase and follow, but do I need to like put myself down into shit? Do I just risk everything for it? And I don't think that you need to. I think that there's a fine line. It's because ultimately what makes your art individual is your own experiences. So like trying to force these experiences on yourself, because I know that there are a lot of people who do this. They try to force these experiences, like, oh, I haven't really suffered enough, so I need to do the most crazy fucking thing I can think of. And I don't think that is.
What do you think people do to do that?
So like, at least I mean, I've considered doing this. It's like moving into, or like how do I say it? I am passionate enough about photography and video that I am willing to risk anything for it. And to be able to do this, it would mean moving out to a city where I feel like I would get a lot more clients and feel like I could capture the things that I want to capture. And so that in itself is a risk, right?
Right.
But it's all in, I could move out today and be like, I want to do this. I can move out today and put myself in some really deep shit. Or I could understand that, you know, if I wait a month or wait a year, then I could potentially be in a better situation. And I think there's always something good about, you want to be in the best situation possible, right? Like, but I know that there are a ton of people, like I have a few friends who are like, well, I'm going to move tomorrow because it doesn't matter. Gosh, I'm trying to figure out if this makes sense. But it's like, I need to move out tomorrow so that I can experience how shit it feels to be starving. I don't know. Like,
I think for some people, that's like fuel to their creative drive. And I know for me, like doing that myself, like just dropping my job and starting doing videography, photography, it forced me to be like, get my name out there, push my name out there, get work, do cheap work to start, and just start, because it was like literally like, it was like, I need to survive. I need to pay bills. I need to make money off my art. Right. So that was, for me, at least, that was like a catalyst to that's usually kind of how I'm driven. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Man, but it's like, I think there's everybody got that point, you know, that's, you know, you want to sell the art in the finest way, but sometimes you can't, and you need to like get used to what the situation, handle what you have.
I can totally agree with that. Like, I see myself probably to push myself as a photographer, and to push myself into filmmaking. Like, I see myself moving out by the next year. I see myself hopefully becoming, and just really, really risking as much as possible, because like I care about this so much, and it's nice to know that I care about this so much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think there's risk in everything, and I don't think the risk itself is what makes your art. I think it's what you've learned from the risk. That's really trippy. I don't know if it makes sense. Okay, yeah, but like it's you know, yeah, that's it. Sorry.
That's good, man. It's good. There's no right or wrong in this podcast, man. We're just spewing thoughts. That's the fun part about this. Chaos is the first step in the creative process. I agree. I like this one. Every child is an artist. The problem is staying an artist when you grow up. I really kind of resonate with that, because it's like, you look at children, man, like they just live. They're just being. They're not doing things and
they're themselves.
Right? Yeah, they're themselves. They're not doing things and then looking back on them right away. They'll be friends with anyone and anyone. They'll have like a disagreement with someone or something, a fight, and they literally don't remember it like the next 10 seconds. So I feel like children, you look at children are a good example of that, of really creative beings, of just doing things, being in flow, creating things without necessarily a desired outcome or a desired response, but just doing things for the pure pleasure of doing them.
Yeah, or like pure heart, you know, like they're kids, they're innocent. They don't know like the old stuff you got in the real world when you grew up.
Yeah, the real world.
Real world.
No, I'll say.
Oh, the shit, yeah.
I'll say if even if you want to bring it from kids to like something like teenagers, like, because I saw this a lot in my last few years of school before everybody started to like commit to colleges and everything, was you had these kids who were incredibly driven and incredibly like creative. Like they just the purest artists and some of the most amazing artists I've ever worked with and met. Great rappers, great singers, great playwrights, great poets, all of these people and all my friends at school, like these amazing people. And they let themselves be pushed into this direction of like, Well, maybe that's the direction they want to go in, but they let themselves be pushed into this direction of, okay, now I'm going to go to university, and now I'm going to get a quote unquote real job, and now I'm going to follow this. Like, there's a lot of risk to really commit to being an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not an easy industry.
Exactly. And so I think that like a lot of people, like, again, like you were saying, it's this purest form, void of all responsibility in a sense. And I think it takes a certain type of person to really
Embody that.
Be like,
Yeah.
no, this is what I care about. This is what I want to do.
I think, I think the desire to want to create and share your story has to be greater than the fear of being necessarily broke or frowned upon
or a failure, right?
Or a failure, yeah. So,
Yeah.
like, I know even in my endeavor through doing this, like, it's always in waves, man. There's literally times where it's like, damn, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pay rent. It's like, fuck,
Right.
I haven't booked anything in the last little bit, and then you start thinking like, am I good enough? Why am I doing this art for a living? Should I have a real job? And I've had family and friends be like that, like, you can't like do that all your life. Like, I literally had uncles tell me that, like, because they just have like this preconditioned feeling or idea that you can't do art for a living. So
No. I totally
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. Like, I think real artist is the people that can like risk it all only for just do what they love to do their art, like going after your passion, your real passion in life. Just do everything and be a failure and not be afraid of being broke or something like that, or no one knows you and no one will get you to a job or something like that. Eventually, if you fight for it, if you love it, you get everything you want.
Right.
Yes.
The lows are lows, but the highs feel so much higher when you're doing something you really care about, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, I see it a lot in my work, like it's in the kitchen, cooks, like in the start you don't get good salary, you get shit money, like for a long time. But I see people that like working in the kitchen, they're doing it from the love for the food, for being like be happy to make people happy with your art, with your food, what you making, what you love to do.
That's
So
why you love
yeah,
it. It's not because of the money you're making or the salary you're bringing in, what you can buy. You're not trying to get away from work, but you actually really enjoy your work and enjoy the experience that you create.
yeah, and it doesn't matter like how hard you work and how many energy it gets from you. Just like you, every morning you wake up and just happy to do what you love to do.
You just know, that's right. Whether you're in the shittiest situation possible, or even if you're really debating, like, do I want to do this? I feel like in the back of my mind, I'm still, this is what I know. This is what I give a fuck about. I know this is what I care about. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, like for me, like working in the kitchen and like in the restaurant, like almost 24/7, I'm in the restaurant. Like I got maybe one day off in the week, but there's lots of time just like you got missing cook or something like that, and there's problem. But so we need to do the double shift, so it's like 18 to 20 hours a day, and the next morning you need to be at 7 in the restaurant, so you got like 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep.
Whew, that's
But
rough.
I'm waking up and I say like, yeah, I'm fucking tired, but I will drink a coffee, and my food gonna be even better than yesterday. Doesn't matter. No, like
That's the best part.
The passion.
it's not it's not in how say like excuse to fall off like what you're doing. Say nah today and sleep up a little bit.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I think what I'm taking away from this kind of conversation is, I think people would be more fulfilled in their lives if they weren't out chasing money, status, and fame, but rather chasing their passions and doing things they enjoy for the experience, and not the money not being a forefront of why they do things.
I could totally agree with that. I think though, there's also, it's very easy from at least a lot of people that I know, like your art can be anything. Your art doesn't have to be something purely artistic. If you want to be a lawyer, that's your art, right? So why not chase that? Why not push for that? If you want to be a doctor, that's your art, right? So why not push for that? Why not go to school for that? Why not do these things to really make sure you make it as be the best in your position that you can be, right?
And do your position the way you feel that it should be done.
Exactly.
Bring to the table your, like you said, your life experiences, and that is your art. The way you do it, the way you interact with people, the way you do it a bit differently than the crowd, than everyone else, the way it's supposed to be done is your art.
Add your flair.
Add your flair.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I totally agree with that.
True.
True
that, man.
Oh my God. The creative process is a process of surrender, not control.
I can agree with that as well. Yeah, I think if you want to really control your creative output, like I guess your creative process, like nothing is definite. This goes back to the travel questions, right? Is that nothing in life is definite. Nothing in life is guaranteed to happen in the way that it's supposed, that you foresee it to happen.
Right, so or want it to happen.
Right. And so it's and part of it anyway in life, but especially the creative process is just taking it as it comes, right? There's going to be those days where you really just don't like what the hell is in front of you, and you don't like what you're looking at. You know, this picture is shit. This video is shit. However, who knows where it's going to look the next day? You know what I mean?
Like, this is shit. This
right.
Is shit.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like, take for example, like songs that you like in the start, you hear them for the first time. It's like, what the fuck is this shit, you know? After like several times you hear that, it's like, oh, it's okay. It's nice, and then eventually love them.
Right. You have no control over that. Exactly.
Yeah. It just happens, you know?
It's part of the process. You have to learn to see it from above, I guess. See the process from above. That's what I'm learning from this is like, oh,
able
right.
to accept new things.
Yeah, it's like everyone goes through this. It's natural. It's natural.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. I want to leave off on this little screen here. This has been a really good discussion, guys.
For sure.
Yeah, I like how we're getting into it. I like it. I like it a lot. I've been doing this for the last like 3 days. I've had like, I think it's my sixth kind of conversation, and it's been like all sorts of different people, like old people, young people, like all sorts of people with different beliefs, and it's always interesting to see other people's point of views and discuss things, and it's so much fun, man. I always enjoy it. If you think adventure is dangerous, try routine. It's lethal. You guys, does that make you think something? Does that resonate with you? Do you prefer routine? Do you prefer adventure? Do you think there's some goodness in having a little bit of both?
I think there's some goodness in having a bit of both, yeah.
Do you think routine is as lethal as this guy put? I think what he's trying to say is like imagine a life of just routine.
Right. That's what I see it as. That's what I see. Imagine just having to do routine.
Yeah, for me, like just have to do routines. Eventually, it's kind of boring. You know, it's like, yeah, you're doing what you love to do, but there's nothing.
Gotta spice it up.
Going on. Right. Yeah.
It's every like, day, even if you go for a walk every morning, like turn left out of your house instead of turning right all the time.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Like change your experience, see things from a different angle. Like you're literally creating new neuron pathways in your brain when you do that. Which is for sure.
But you have to be like you have to get to routine in your life.
Yeah.
But also, guys, you have to be able to go out to adventures because if an adventure can shape your routine eventually after you come back from that adventure.
I love that. And isn't that what usually happens? Like even like you guys said, we went on these long trips, we came back, the adventure changed our routine. It changed who we were, changed how we showed up in the world.
Right. And I think that routine is great as well, because I think there's a lot about mental health and as well as physical health that you can get through a routine. Yeah. I mean, like sure, adventure, again, could shift that routine and change it in a way that you wouldn't have expected. No, I think it's very nice to have these like set things because that's what keeps you driven, right? Especially as an artist, at least that's what I found, is because it's very easy to hit a rut and not want to get up. But if you have to force yourself to get up because you have to go do this at a certain time or you have to do this, then it makes it that much easier to get out of that rut. A routine will break a rut. At least but also adventure does too. I think it's a double-edged sword. There's good to both, you know, like too much adventure. Well, then you can't, how are you really going to base yourself in anything?
Yeah,
right?
you need
Or
to.
too much routine.
Exactly.
How are you really going to experience anything? So
Yeah, it's been a common theme on these podcasts that I've been doing is like finding the fine line in our lives between order and chaos, and realizing maybe sometimes in life, like a whole year might be chaos, and then a whole year might be order or something, or
Right.
sometimes it's month by month, or some people would be week by week. And I guess we gotta find a balance in what works for us as I mean, everyone will kind of flow differently, right?
right, everybody has their
Yeah.
own personal feeling to it, right?
Yeah, but I think everyone has to at least see a little bit of the other side,
For sure.
and never be too ordered or maybe too chaos.
Right.
But everyone will be on a spectrum.
Definitely.
Cool. Awesome, guys. I think we'll leave it off on that. Thanks for chatting, boys. That was
Thank
really
you,
cool.
guys.
It's cool
It
to
was a pleasure to meet you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you too, man. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
we got
Very
people.
nice talk. A nice conversation, like it.
Yeah, it's
Thank
cool
you,
to have
Andy.
people from different parts of the world.
No, I
Like
love
this
that. It's the
and
best.
like to video chat with you guys. Like we connected really well on our trips in those moments, and I was like, I knew that we'd chat really well, so that'd be good. It was good. Awesome.